Hello there, fellas and ladies. Welcome back to Goodfellas Garage, and today we're gonna continue working on my 2011 Ford Crown Victoria. If you watched the previous video, which I will link below, we started doing some major service on the car. Well, we by we I mean I. You know, you were just
most of it, yes,
supervising.
Correct. That's
I thought that last time I was gonna able to finish everything, but when you're recording, it takes a lot longer. Yeah, I never done it with the camera, so it took a lot longer, and I was here till 6 o'clock. And all we did last time was the transmission service, we did the rear end service, oil change, and power steering. That's it.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it does take a little bit more time, and you do go through a little bit of deeper process. You make sure that everything gets done right. You're not on a time limit, so it's
that's right. And Ivan is nice enough to let me use his lift, so yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we're ready for the next process.
Yeah. So shocks, we're gonna do front and rear shocks. Fluid-wise, we have brake fluid. We're gonna show you how to we flush the brake fluid, and the coolant. But I'll do the coolant at home. I'm not gonna do it here.
No problem. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. But coolant is very easy. Just you need a garden hose and that's it. You know.
Okay. Perfect.
So let's do the shocks.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Alrighty, fellas. Let me show you what needs to be done. This is the driver's side. I already did the passenger side, so. But let me show you pre-removal. There are 3 bolts here on top, 13 millimeters that you gotta remove. You gotta remove the upper ball joint bolt, which is a 24 right here. You gotta remove a 15 millimeter right here, which holds the sway bar link that is right there. Okay, and you need that so you can stick a Allen in here because the upper ball joint will spin. So once that happens, we can drop this whole thing down, and then there's right here there's a 24, there's another 24 right here, and then that whole thing just drops down. Let me show you what it looks like all disassembled. Here's the sway bar link. Upper ball joint goes here. This has already been removed, and I already dropped the shock, so now we have to get it out of here and put it inside of a spring compressor so we can compress the spring and get the shock out. On the pre-2003 models, this was a lot easier. The shock was held by 1 bolt on top and 2 bolts on the bottom, and it would just slide out. This is a little bit more complex. I have to remove the caliper because the hose is getting stretched. So.
Out. Yeah. That's it. We're ready.
All right, so. Oh, look at this! I was right. It was bad. Check it out.
Let me take a look.
Look. Look.
Oh, look at the fluid.
Yeah.
The pistons are already gone inside. The seal itself.
That's why I told you the car was all bouncy. I was like doing that.
And the fronts are very important because
it's 100K. That's when they go bad.
Yep.
All right, let's change them.
Perfect.
At this point, it was so hot in the shop that I gave up, and I decided to have Julian, one of the expert techs at the shop, compress the spring and remove the shock, and also do the driver's side for me, and I just did the rears. Alrighty fellas, so one of the rear shocks is already in. There's just one bolt on the bottom and one bolt on top. These are easier to do if you have a lift. You can jack up the differential and release the tension, so it's easier to put the bolts back in. I mean, you can do it in the driveway, but it's easier on a lift. I already did this side right here, so all I have to do is just stick that bolt in there. Alrighty fellas, let me show you how I do the homemade brake fluid flush. So all I do is I unscrew the bleeders on each caliper, and I start with the right rear, then left rear, then passenger front, and then driver front, okay? And I let the gravity do all the work. The gravity will allow the fluid to drip, but the trick here is that you have to stand on top and you have to fill up the reservoir as it drains, so you don't have any air bubbles, okay? And it takes about a bottle and a half of the 4.3 fluid, and at that point you know that it has been completely flushed. So I put little containers underneath so it just drips in here, and it takes about 10 minutes, and brake flush is gonna be done. All right, let me get to work. Begin by undoing the bleeders. They are 10 millimeters. I start with the passenger side rear, and then just let it drip into the container. Then I move to driver's side rear, do the same thing. Next stop is passenger front. And finally, driver's side front. Just make sure you keep topping it off so that there's no bubbles, and you're good to go. After about a bottle and a half, you're done with the brake flush, and then just go and tighten them back in the same order. Rear passenger, then driver rear, and then passenger front, and then driver front. That's it. So Ivan is gonna replace the fuel filter. I don't want to get dirty, and he agreed to.
I agreed to get dirty. I really didn't, but
yeah.
I had no choice.
You had no choice, but let's show them what.
It's an easy procedure.
Very easy, yeah.
We just remove the clamp that holds it in place to the bracket, and then of course we have a quick release here and a little one that goes up here, which I might bring.
You can just push it out, yeah.
A flathead screwdriver.
Yeah, with a little flathead.
Well, there he goes. I might have some here. Then of course we have our tool set for the other section. It looks like maybe this size might do it. Okay.
This definitely has been replaced before. It's an aftermarket.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, you got the new one?
I do.
Let's take a look at it.
The new one is right here. There you go.
Motorcraft?
Yes, sir.
I don't think this was Motorcraft. Wow, it's holding a lot of fuel.
Hey, don't waste my gas.
Yep. You got at least. Okay, so we got an arrow.
Flow.
Good. That means this goes this way, I think. And you hear the click?
Yeah.
Nice. And here, well, there's no click because this is what holds it in place. And this is a safety pin. That's it.
You're not gonna see if you have another clip?
Yeah, let's take a look. I'll try.
Don't cheapen out on me.
No, I won't. I know it says fuses, but
Yeah.
you never know with these guys.
Nuts. It's just a bunch of nuts.
My guys are a bunch of nuts. It's weird the new fuel filter didn't come with it.
Yep. Nope, that's it. We got one. Wow, I can't believe you have one.
I know. Just tighten it, but not too tight. You know, just enough. People sometimes over tighten things, and
All right, I think that's
they don't need to go crazy.
full service. Well, fellas, we're all done. We changed every single fluid except the coolant. I'll do that at home because it's almost 3 o'clock. I've been here since 8.
Incredible.
Yeah, so we did the front shocks, the rear shocks. I did the brake fluid, which was the only dirty fluid in this car.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else was nice and clean. So, people, like I said, people forget brake fluid.
They do.
All the time. I don't know why. Yeah.
Perfect.
So
Well,
that's
a
it.
nice wrap.
Yeah, and we changed the fuel filter too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. It's all done. All the service is done on the car. Thanks.
Till next.
Bye.